Hey everybody, Todd Mitchell here. Welcome back to Game Dev Breakdown. What you are about to hear is part of my event coverage for the Virtual Indie Games Expo 2020. Big thank you to the event organizers for having me out virtually, of course. You can find a link to them in the show notes to see more of what they're up to and what they're about. In each of these episodes, I will speak to multiple teams who showed off their projects and are doing their thing. It's all very interesting. They're great folks to get to know, so hang out, relax, and enjoy this event coverage.
Good evening, fans. Tim Kitzrow here, the voice of NBA Jam, and you're listening to the Game Dev Breakdown Podcast, brought to you by CodeWritePlay.com. Whoa, boom shakalaka!
My mom gave birth in 1985. I was bluer than a Pac-Man ghost, barely alive. In the Cold War, my only blanket was Tetris. I played Rampart with Reagan, rampaged the world for breakfast. The laundromat was my sanctuary, the arcade was my church. I thought I was
totally. Drop me a link, that'd be great.
Alright. Sorry, just had to nerd out because I love stuff like this.
Yeah, all of that aside, Brian and Co., thanks for joining me. Why don't you let me know what you guys presented this weekend?
Fantastic. Thanks for having us. My name is Brian. This is Co. We are co-designers on our game GunDrill. So GunDrill is basically a science fiction version of Oregon Trail, but as an action-adventure platformer.
What a pitch. That's great.
Thank you. We're very excited. This was our first time showing the game off in any public capacity, even though it was a virtual convention. So we got a teaser trailer out that we're going to be posting on Twitter. And our vertical slice is coming out in mid-January. We're planning on January 19th.
Fantastic. And this seemed to me like one of the darlings of the expo. I mean, everybody was really excited about this game.
We were a bit we haven't done this stuff before. It's always been in text. And to hear the enthusiasm in like a 3D virtual environment is a different deal. You know, you've got people actually coming up and talking to you. It's nice to have that, for lack of a better word, in-person experience. You get to see the enthusiasm that bit much more.
It was incredibly gratifying.
Yeah, it beats most other forms of. I mean, being there in person obviously would be fantastic, but there is a nice element of enthusiasm you can pick up in these VR expos. I've sort of noticed covering these events this year. We're all doing the same like little 3D clap thing, but it's still very nice.
Totally.
So tell me what the plan is in terms of platforms you want to release on. I mean, either early on or in total.
That's a step ahead of what we're thinking right now. So we have talked about it, of course. Steam is like the standard thing. We're definitely, at the moment, the builds we've made are only like PC Windows.
Makes sense.
We can compile to other stuff. The licenses to actually get the code to compile on different platforms isn't going to be a big problem because we're using GameMaker 2, which is fine for exporting to those. Not going to be a big problem. But we're planning on releasing a demo in mid-January, like Brian said, and for that we're actually thinking of maybe doing a web build. We're thinking of doing HTML5, and people can just play it like that. It won't be like that as a final game, but for the sake of people being able to just plug in, few clicks, play, experience the game, to get it to the most people as possible, we're thinking putting up a web build maybe 19th of January. But then finally, on Steam would be good as a PC build, whatever other platforms we can find that won't have exclusivity.
It completely depends on our ability to, our resources in order to develop for other platforms. We would love to release on the Switch and PlayStation or Xbox. Or platformers, I think, are a really good fit for the Switch.
Yeah.
Switch would be amazing. The problem with we would love to get on console, but it's something we have to look at the time because obviously they have like really rigid details on like what state your game needs to be in before they go on there.
Definitely a big task.
We would love to be on the Switch. I think Switch is our favorite out of all the consoles for what we could be on.
That's funny. I just did a series on the various consoles and like sort of what it takes to actually get from concept to publishing on that platform. And Switch is always one of the toughest ones. I mean, I have guests on all the time who go, yeah, Nintendo's approval process is about as tough as it was in the 80s. So, it was notorious back then, and it's not changed too much. So, but I think this HTML demo thing is a really smart idea. And I was going to say I don't know why more people don't do it. I'm sure not every game translates very well to playing in the browser. But something like this, I mean, as long as it runs well and it's performant, I think that's a great idea. A great way to pull people in.
We know it'll be performant. We did talk about this. We were like, wait, other people don't do this. Should we not do it because other people don't?
Right.
That might be our biggest advantage, is that it's less saturated. Send someone a link, and anyone with a computer is able to play, where we don't have to think, okay, here's a bunch of instructions for how to download the game, and or my parents have no idea how to download a game on Steam. They're like, do I have to pay for Steam? And I'm like, no, here's a link. Let me know what you think.
People can sneak this in at work and everything.
There is a stigma, I think, as well. Like that's one thing that maybe scared us, but we've decided to go with it now because, like Brian said, there's an advantage. Just if no one else is doing it, why not just try and be a bit bold? But I think the reason a lot of people might not is because maybe there's a stigma that if you're releasing it on web, even if it's a demo, people might go, is this a web game? But if it's the same as the final product, if Undertale was on HTML5, for example, and people played it, I don't think people would really go, I'm not going to play the full thing because it was a web game. I think it's just a bit of a unneeded stigma. I think it'll be fine.
I think I'd be worried about that too. But I agree. Ultimately, I think it's going to be more pro than con, I guess. I'm interested in hearing some of the inspiration for this game, if that's something that you have a list of or something that you actively think about, like what inspired this very interesting kind of concept.
It's very funny you mention that, because I think Ko and I come from very different backgrounds game-wise. So our game became a pretty big blend of different styles. My background is more in story-based games. As the composer, some of my favorite games, at least in the pixel art sort of world, Fez, Hyper Light Drifter, very environmentally driven atmospheric games. And then, Ko, if you want to talk about some of your influences.
Yeah, I mean, you're right. Like, it's not like I don't like those games as well, but I've definitely played a lot more fast-paced games, Twitch reactions and juicy movement and game feel and stuff. I spent a lot of time playing competitive games. I used to play Smash Bros. Competitively as well in the UK. So it's hard to resist the temptation. I think some early builds definitely, like, I was like, oh, let's add in this feature or this extra mechanic. And it's interesting. I think we found a lot of middle ground between where we have the atmosphere that's inspired by Brian's push to sort of develop the story and the feel of the actual environment, and then my push to sort of get the feeling of the gameplay and having very high skill ceilings for the players. And then we sort of reach this resolution where, especially with game feel, we have a very high skill ceiling that people can do a lot of things. They can play the game fast. I'm hoping speedrunners will really enjoy it. But the barrier of entry is actually very low. We've tried to make it so, our relatives and people that haven't played games for a long time will still be able to pick it up, read the instructions at the very beginning, and soon enough they'll be going through the level. So that's a real aim of ours.
That makes sense. And I think with that amount of general appeal, I don't tell everybody this. I sort of smell a success story here, especially if you guys manage to get on the Switch, as difficult as we just acknowledged that would be. I think that's a place this would really excel. And of course, it'll be very popular on PC too, but you did a good job of revealing sort of the interesting gameplay mechanics, and I think that's going to be great.
Glad you see that balance or the depth. I'm glad that came through in our demo at the expo yesterday.
Tell me this, excuse me, how is Game Maker 2 treating you?
Game Maker 2 is frustrating just because there's not a lot of built-in features, but overall, Game Maker is fantastic.
It's a really good engine. Brian's right, audio-wise, and especially since half of the team is like the one half of the team, the most expertise area for Brian is music, and it's really annoying to be working with an engine where can't express all the ideas you have in music easily. Mm-hmm. But apart from that, most things that Game Maker provides, I mean, like Game Maker has a bit of a reputation, or not a reputation, the way people see it when someone first sees the name Game Maker, it sounds like a Scratch kind of program, right? Like it sounds like it makes games, you show it to kids, but really it's very well optimized, it's very low overhead, and you can get quite deep. You can make shaders, you can do a lot of things you do in any other programming language, and a lot of things are lower level and give you more control than you would with other engines, rather, not programming language. It's really fun to work with. I've been using it for a long time. I think a lot of other developers that make these kind of games, especially 2D, it's really good for 2D, would agree. You got like Yanul and Nijman for Vlambeer, and Derek Yu for Splunky, and many other people. They like it because you can quickly prototype things, because there's some built-in stuff, but you can change that to any detail you want. So it's been a pretty smooth process for that part. It's the thing I'm most comfortable with, so that's why we developed it in that.
Yeah, and I ask because I've been kind of interested for a while to sort of pick somebody's brain who's been in the more recent releases of Game Maker, because I give Game Maker tons of credit, because that was how I made my first game when I was like 17. So it's been around that long, way back when, what was his name? Mark Overmars was still, his name was on everything. I used it way back when. And more recently, when I saw like, okay, it's been acquired now, the licenses work a lot differently, I thought, probably back to Unity, I guess. I don't know. But and most of it was because I thought I didn't have my act together enough to really have a plan, like which licenses do I need now and later, and is that going to burn me later? But it seems like you guys are well on your way. I don't think it's going to be an issue.
Well, like we said, the exports are really comfortable. That's the nice thing. Like making an HTML5 build will have some inconsistencies, but mostly it'll be okay. And the same with consoles as well. You have to pay for the licensing, and obviously to get on the store itself is a different deal. Right. When it comes to creating the code, it's not such a problem. The change so it's now Yo-Yo Games. I think it's always been under Yo-Yo Games, but Yo-Yo Games was purchased by Playtech some years ago. Mm-hmm. It's not changed that much because the community has always been the same, the people who use it. Maybe there's a little bit less communication with the developers, but they're still very supportive. I actually went to a couple of meetings that were hosted by Playtech Games in London a few years ago, and like they would for free just host these big events where all people using Game Maker come together, because there's actually that finance behind it now, and people would they could give free beers, free pizza, and it's nice to actually have that kind of community where everyone's provided a platform to talk to each other and sort of share. And I think there's a very sort of open source feel about the community. People are really happy to share their techniques, and everyone's got the same kind of environment. So having that support has also been really helpful to the development and learning new techniques.
That's encouraging for me, because I like using different engines and trying different things, and I would love to sort of reconnect with Game Maker. So, I was just thinking maybe one day you guys could have a Smash character as well.
That'd be incredible.
I mean, this era of featuring characters where Sephiroth is now in Smash and everything, let alone Minecraft Steve, it's a whole new world, right?
It's actually a nightmare, because you would have that initial announcement day when everyone hated you because they wanted something else.
True. Very true.
That's a double-edged sword for sure. But so as you get play testers and stuff like that, I'm sure you've showed it around a little bit, but as people really start to play the demo and stuff, do you see sort of changing it based on their feedback, or sort of staying true to your vision? I mean, what's your plan for the balance?
I think we do have our bigger vision for the full game, but I love hearing what other people have to say about our game, and what people really respond to is very important. Early on, we saw, just based on some friends and our own playtesting, that collecting ore in the game is really, really enjoyable. And we didn't think that would be such an important part of the game. And then we kind of built around fueling your train with the ore, around that mechanic that emerged. Yeah, I think we're going to be really open to feedback overall.
I think it's really important to run with things that feel good initially, and that's what we've done. And the nice thing is, you talked about vision, but like we have visions for story and where the game can go in terms of these events should happen. But in terms of game feel and stuff and like what features in the game, what mechanics, we've actually coded and implemented a lot of the stuff we want. Like the core game is there and that's what we're really happy about. And the nice thing is a lot of people who give feedback, they don't say like, oh, I don't like how this jump feels, or I don't like how the jetpack works or anything like that. We've had that in the past, and some things we've worked with, some things we've taken our own vision. But now, for the most part, the ideas that people come up us with are like, oh, it'd be really cool if later on you get to a train station, the train doesn't appear, or you meet a really big creature that's bigger than the screen. Like, when people start suggesting things to add rather than things that you should change, that's when it starts to get really gratifying, because rather than there is no vision to break down, instead people, I think, just want to add to the vision and add to the world, and that's what's really enjoyable for us, I think, especially at the expo.
Well, it sounds like you both have very good heads on your shoulders about this, so I foresee a very successful release here, and I hope nobody saves this later and comes back to me about it if I'm wrong. But but no, it's refreshing to see a really promising project and a team behind it that seems to have exactly the right mindset. So I hate that this time went by so fast, but let listeners know where they can find you and sort of follow this.
Yeah, so you can find GunDrill on Twitter. Our address or our handle is @GunDrill_. And then we have links to our individual Twitters on there. And send us an email as well, gundrillgame@gmail.com.
Please do. And we'll probably be, if you check out the Twitter, we think we'll be making a community on Discord soon as well as we start to release more online. So feel free to pop in there and give us any information or any suggestions for the game, because like I said, we love hearing what people have to say about the game.
Very cool. Well, I will be watching this one closely. I hope I can have you guys back in the future. We can maybe do a longer chat about this and sort of see how things are going. So thanks for dropping in today.
Yeah, thanks,
love
so much for having us.
Thanks for having us on.
My pleasure. Let's pause right here to talk about our sponsor, AppFigures. AppFigures is all about giving game makers the tools they need to get more downloads and revenue. You may know them for analytics and App Store optimization. Now AppFigures can help you track competitors from downloads and dollar amounts to audience demographics and even which SDKs they use. Their competitor intelligence gives great context. If a competitor adds a new feature or gets mentioned in the news, AppFigures can tell you if that brought in more downloads. If you have an idea for a new app or a game, AppFigures can tell you how big the market is and how much money it could make you. That's just scratching the surface. Whether you're growing your app or building a new one, AppFigures has the tools you need to reduce risk and get more downloads. You don't need a huge budget or a data science degree. AppFigures has made it affordable and simple, and they can guide you step by step through gaining more visibility with ASO and increasing your revenue by learning from your competitors. Head to appfigures.com/on/GameDevBreakdown to try AppFigures for free, and if you like it, use our special code GDB3030 to get 30% off for the next 3 months. All right, well, first of all, thanks everybody for joining me. I know it's been a busy weekend, and I appreciate it.
Awesome.
So, Pablo, would you like to introduce everybody and tell us what you guys presented this weekend?
Oh, yeah, sure. I'm Pablo. Online, I go by Expo Dev pretty much everywhere. Mm-hmm. I have Sandy, who's like pretty much our lead game artist, and she does all the incredible art you see in the game. And then we have that Megalosaurus. She does all of like the incredible programming. Well, not all. Well, me and her work together, but she does. Yeah, she does a lot of the programming that you see. A lot of the boss fights.
Primarily the boss fights.
Yeah, she does a lot of the boss fights. She'll help with the level design. She'll help me fix a lot of bugs. Sometimes I can't fix them. She'll be like kind of step in and save the day. Mega, thank you so much for helping me fix the demo for the presentation. Oh my god.
No problem.
You saved my life.
And what was the project that you presented?
So we worked on TeamJumpers 2, New Reality, and then we also did TeamJumpers Rejumped. It's kind of like two projects. It's kind of like not a franchise. It's more of just like two projects under the same name or whatever.
Sure.
So we had like the original game, which was on Steam. I kind of released it. I made it completely on my own with the help of Mega a little bit. So I released that on Steam, made it in my free time after school and stuff like that. And it had so many bugs, but I just decided I'm going to release it on Steam anyway because I was all excited about, oh my gosh, I'm doing a Steam release, etc.
Yeah.
So I did that, and it didn't go well. There was a lot of negative reviews, a lot of negative criticism, and it kind of broke me down a bit. But then I realized, like, hey, I need to get more help next time, and I need to stop rushing my releases. So I got a team of people together. There's a lot more people behind the scenes, but Sandy and Mega are the people that are able to be here today. So at the podcast. So we decided to make a sequel, go in a whole new direction, get a bunch of bigger stuff going on with it, and that's about what happened for the sequel. And then also that Megalosaurus decided to start doing her own remake of the first TeamJumpers. I think it was for fun, right?
Yeah, I started out as fun because I was like, you know what? If you have the original TeamJumper share, you have this cool new one, and then you look at the old one, it's like, the new one's pretty good. I wanted to try and maybe make the original one just a bit better. So when people look back on it, it's like, oh, this isn't as bad.
Yeah. And then I decided, like, you know what, this is good stuff. Like I asked her, like, if we could do a Steam release, and I remember, like, you said yes, and I was, is that how it went down? I'm trying to remember.
Yeah, no, I was like, yeah.
Yeah, you were like, yeah, and then that's about it.
It's very cool to be able to sort of revisit something. I mean, like, everyone agrees when you are in a creative pursuit and you go back to work you've done previously, you always kind of have that, like, if it's not horror, it's at least like, there are things I would do differently now. To be able to, like, build on something like that is extremely cool. So I'm sure people are excited about that. I mean, the presentation seemed like it was received very well. I got in I caught most of it. I was like a minute or two late, but it seemed like people were very excited about this.
That is honestly awesome to hear, because there's been a lot of, like, negative criticism on the first game, and just seeing all this, like, positive, like, response to the second game and the remastered, or rejumped we call it. It's honestly just awesome to see. It's phenomenal. I'm so happy. So thank you guys.
A lot of people give advice to this effect, like when you're starting out, or when you have a new thing you're doing, just get something out the door, do the best you can, learn from it, and then you can charge ahead. But not many people have the courage to really do it like that. So I'm impressed by that. I mean, where do you even develop that kind of confidence? I mean, it sounds like it did impact you when there was negativity, but I mean, how do you even bounce back from that?
I mean, for a while, there was, like, a lot of people I knew that would, like, actually really, like, not just leave negative criticism, but there were actually some people who would, like, actually say, like, they would actually kind of harass me about it. And, like, I mean, actually on my new announcement video, I announced that I was going to the Indie Games Expo, and they would kind of leave really horrible comments. And then there's some pretty horrible things said, you know, but I kind of just decided, like, you know what, I'm not going to take crap from them. Like, just kind of just use that as, like, fuel, you know, like, just realize that, like, if you're having fun doing what you're doing, then just keep going, you know? Like, don't let someone who is being negative, like, impact you like that. Like, if you're having fun doing what you're doing, then keep doing that. That is what's going to keep you going, I guess. It sounds generic and cliche, but that's the best I could say about that.
Well, but I kind of dragged you into general philosophy. That's pretty much on me.
That's all good.
There is a certain element of, like, I feel now, it makes me angry in the moment, of course, because I get negative feedback like anybody does, but there's something kind of sad about noticing that someone has taken a significant amount of time to pick one thing in the vast universe that they're going to focus their time on because they don't like it. Like, what?
It was like a friend group from, like, my school that would, like, they just like to mess with me because I was part of their friend group at one point, and it was toxic, and I kind of left it, and then it's a whole story for later.
Oh, I see.
I don't want to get into that, but it was just a whole thing. But that kind of led to a lot more negative criticism that kind of for a while pushed me down to stop, like, almost like wanted to push me to stop making the game in general. But then I just kind of decided to go in a whole new direction, and that kind of inspired me to make something entirely new with this game specifically. And then it kind of ignited this, like, light in me, or fire in me, I guess. And I just kind of and then now we have this whole thing.
Well, good for you. I mean, congrats for rising above it and moving forward. I mean, that's really the only key, is you just can't let things stop you. So if I can jump in a different direction, Mega, how do you come to specializing in boss fight development, if you want to call it that?
I just like making boss fights. It's just fun.
I totally get it. Like but not everybody gets to find a sweet gig doing that. So that's pretty cool. I mean, is it fun to work on a relatively small team like this? I mean, a lot of people either have to go solo or be part of a fairly big group. I don't know how many additional people in total you work with, but I mean, this seems like a nice small group to work with.
We have about 8 or 9 people working. It mostly consists of like musicians, or like composers and artists.
I think
like testers.
The main people that are working on it though are like about 5 or 6.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's safe to say. Yeah.
So, Sandy, do you kind of coordinate that? If it sounds like multiple people are sort of touching the art stuff.
I think there's one other person. I think, right?
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'd say there's like one other person. Yeah.
I think there's like one other person. I'm working on getting my friend
Trevor.
into this because they saw how successful the game is and they want to contribute to it and such.
Yeah, that's cool.
But I do like a solid 90% of the game art.
Nice. What kind of things inspired the art style here?
I think as me and Pablo actually went over this yesterday or something, where I was asking him if I could redo the blue background for the background for the main like first levels and stuff. Yeah, no, the first level, the blue sky.
Oh yeah. Okay.
And you were telling me that I can't because you wanted it to keep it like simplistic and cartoony and cutesy and like the basic vibe, but you still want to what that lacks in artistic perspective. You want to make up for in storyline.
Mm-hmm.
So I just make everything look a bit like cleaner than what a normal like 2-year-old could do. I just make it look nicer. I recently just made a background for the Inside Out that's definitely more complex compared to the rest of the game. But I still try to make sure that everything looks definitely not like a 5-year-old did it, but more like it was purposely meant to look simplistic.
Interesting. Yeah. And now, see, from the perspective of me, a terrible artist, but one who has done art for an entire game, I mean, I find that to be one of the biggest challenges is to maintain that sort of consistency of style when you want to do distinctly different things in the game. I mean, does that never leave, or is that something you get over?
Oh, no, it doesn't leave at all. Like, the background I just made, it definitely looks like something you'd find in, like, One Shot or something. But, like, I'm sure we'll find a way to cooperate it into the game because it has the same color palette as the Inside Out and such. So it'll probably work. It's just definitely different. Like, there was a pipe design that we had at some point, and it looked so similar to the Mario pipe design. I was just like, we can't use that. And we made the terrain is probably the first. The terrain was the first thing we made, and I just try to make sure I keep consistent, like with the terrain, to make sure that I know what I'm doing. So it's I do find it difficult, though. Yes.
Okay. Well, thank you for making me feel a little better about that.
No,
actually
don't
makes me feel
about it.
A little better about that. So, what is the engine for and what technologies do you use to create the game?
Okay, well, so we use QuickTeam Fusion 2.5. I don't know if you've heard of that one.
I've heard of it. It's one of the few I've never touched.
So it's actually, I'm sure you've heard of Five Nights at Freddy's. It's a pretty popular horror series. Oh yeah, everyone's heard of that game. So that is like a big horror franchise. That's actually the engine we used to make our game. They also used it for Cave Story, The Escapist, a couple other games like that.
Baba's used one, I think, too.
Mm-hmm. And so, first of all, Todd, I had a question. So, have you heard of like Scott Cawthon? You know him, right? Like the creator of the Five Nights series.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's like, I'm just gonna say that right now. Like, he's probably like my biggest inspiration. Like, I know it's a bit random to say this, but like,
no, that's fair.
Yeah, he's like probably my biggest inspiration for like making games, and like I kind of found out ClickTeam through like his games. So like, I kind of started using ClickTeam, and then I just fell in love with it, and now I'm using. I mean, I kind of started learning Unity recently as well, but I'm mostly using ClickTeam. That Megalosaurus also uses ClickTeam because we kind of both work in that.
Yeah, that's the only reason we know each other.
Because it's actually kind of a funny story how we both met. We both used the website GameJolt. Not sure if you've heard of that.
Yeah.
And then Mega, I think you want to tell the story. I assume you want to tell the story.
Yeah, basically, I accidentally friended him, and then he accepted the friend request.
Yeah, I accept a lot of friend requests on GameJull because I like meeting new people in the game dev community.
It's funny for that to go this far, though. You know.
Yep, it's awesome. It's absolutely awesome though that it came this far.
Yeah, it's pretty weird.
And then I just started checking out her games, and I was like, okay, this is actually fun. And then now we have this behemoth of a project at this convention, and we're like, okay. Sorry, that was a bit loud there.
That's okay. I appreciate the enthusiasm.
I'm like, okay.
And I mean, overall, how was the expo experience for you? It seemed like you guys did well there.
It was actually awesome. Like, I remember they said something about Nintendo, but I didn't really see anything about that, so I don't know. But besides that, like, I had a blast. Like, it was so cool networking and meeting people. Like, there were some cool games there. Like, I saw GunDrill. That was a really cool one.
Oh yes, GunDrill.
Just talked to those guys, yeah.
Oh really? Awesome. That was an awesome one.
GunDrill.
Yeah, they are amazing.
They are
try the demo for the
Shout
game.
out to
It's really
GunDrill,
fun.
man. I love GunDrill. I'm gonna probably live stream that one later today.
What's actually great about that is I think you two will share an episode.
Oh,
Awesome.
yay!
I'm positive they haven't talked about us, but we sure as heck will talk about them.
Oh,
Because their game is amazing.
You know what I'd love to do? I don't know if it's ever gonna happen, but I'd love to do some sort of crossover. Like, even if it's just like a little Easter egg or something, I'd love to like have a crossover or something.
We could make a weapon of a gun drill or something.
Yeah, or like maybe we could have like one of them come out of the ground real quick and then go back in while you're playing the game or something.
Well, I joked with them that maybe their main character could appear in Smash later, and so maybe you guys can meet up in Smash.
Oh, that would be
Bob
the
and
dream.
Smash.
Cubes
That would
versus
be
GunDrill.
hilarious.
Cubes versus literal GunDrill, man.
I'm no expert, just something to
I
think
mean,
about.
he does have.
Oh yeah. You know, if
Bob
if
does
Team
have a
Jumpers gets on the
worthy-
Switch, it's very possible that they get in Smash.
Bob does have a worthy attack. You know, stab and then
Yeah.
jump on top. That's it.
And
That is
then-
a
and then
pretty
Rob-
interesting attack.
And then Rob with the whole fireball
Yeah,
thing.
it's possible.
The same thing I told them was there's probably no greater horror actually than that day that they announce your indie character is going to Smash and then hearing everyone's response. I would hate that day.
Unless you get a
Oh,
good
yeah.
response. If you get a good response, then that's
You would
good.
for sure have fans, and then there'd be, reasonably, a lot of people haven't heard of the average indie project, and it's
then you
a
get
lot
of
of what the
expectations
hell
on
is
your hands.
this? Yeah, exactly.
A lot of it's all expectations.
I mean,
know-
the new one that came out. What was the name of it? The new
Sephiroth,
character that came out
Sephiroth.
to Smash.
Yeah.
I didn't even know the
was-
character, and I was so disappointed. I was like, I
so
don't even know
disappointed.
this.
I was like, it's just another anime sword fighter. Pass.
We were all
No.
so hopeful.
I'm a bit older, and I was surprised. I was like, wow, they really went back and pulled that out of nowhere. Like, I'm surprised
Oh
they
yeah,
went that
for
route.
sure.
I mean,
It was
I'm not a
completely
Final
out of
Fantasy
nowhere.
fan.
That is the surprise though, and it's
I was hoping for Doomslayer. Honestly, I
Yeah.
love Doom Eternal. I love that game, so I was hoping for a Doomslayer.
That would have been cool.
That would have been cool. Oh my god, you have no idea my reaction when Steve got in Smash, though. Oh, you can't even tell me how excited I was.
Oh yeah, that
was-
was
I think
pretty
a lot
funny.
of younger generations were really excited about that.
I started just screaming from my bedroom. My parents
like-
came in and they were like, "What's wrong?" And I was like, "Steve is in Smash." And they're like, "What does that? Like, what does that mean?" Like, they had no idea. And I was like, "You wouldn't get it. You wouldn't get it."
Okay, I'm gonna close this door. Yeah,
Okay, yeah. Let's get back to the main topic now. Sorry, that was a bit of a ramble there.
it's cool though. So tell me, like, you've clearly had to decide. Okay, we're gonna take some energy and some time and do the re-jumped release and everything. If you go a different direction after this, I mean, what do you see tackling next?
After Team Jumpers, like in general.
Yeah, or do you
We
just keep
kind of-
doing Team Jumpers? I mean, that's fine too.
I mean, I don't know what I want to do. I'm not 100% sure if I want to keep doing Team Jumpers over and over.
We have been, I think after the Team Jumpers, if like we probably might make one more maybe after this, but likely that's going to be all we're going to do with Team Jumpers because we don't want to, keep doing the same thing over and over again. However, I'm sure our next games we probably will get like another like story writer or something and like make a really deep and emotional game, like Cave Story, like One Shot, like there's like a bunch of them. Sorry, I like One Shot a lot. It is one of my favorite games. But we probably will make one that's a bit more deeper meaning, maybe like has a more easy to connect to character, something that you can like, something that's merchandisable,
I was gonna say something that may not go straight to Smash. Yeah.
No, something that may not go straight to Smash, but surely something that people will enjoy.
Nice. Yeah, it totally makes sense. I mean, from a creative perspective, I mean, you do enough, not just Team Jumpers, but enough of anything. I'm sure you start to get that urge to branch out, and I'm guessing that's probably starting to set in. So.
Oh, absolutely. Like, don't tell anyone this. We when we had our presentation, when they invited us to come to Comic-Con, we were like acting all chill in the call, and then in our like group chat and Discord, we're like,
in our Discord.
"Oh my god!"
You know, the
oh
all
my
caps.
god!
And then they said GDC, and we were like, okay. Yeah, okay.
They were freaking out.
You were freaking out. You don't even.
Yeah, we were all just like freaking out. We were like, yeah, okay.
Like
okay,
we had our creative director Max in the group chat because he couldn't be at the call, and he was like so happy.
He was over the top. We were all over the top happy.
Caps Lock was on all the time. I'll just say that.
Yeah.
I want to reassure you, the response was good and appropriate. At the same time, I was sitting there like, I bet they are kind of freaking out, though.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
We were. I bet it was apparent too.
It was just simple math. You didn't really let on, but I thought
there's no way that you couldn't be excited, like as a small team getting an opportunity like that.
As a fledgling studio. Yes.
I still don't know how we're gonna end up getting there, but we're gonna get there, and that's all that matters to me. And us.
Well, I hope you get the chance soon. I think VR events are probably here to stay somewhat, but. I mean, we for sure will get back to in-person stuff. I hope it's before too long.
As soon as the virus dies down a bit, we'll be able to get there, and it'll be a dream.
Yeah, it might take me and Meg some money, but we'll get there.
And it's that way for everybody all the time. Like, I'm independent also with all the things I do, and nobody's bankrolling me to go to GDC. I got to go one time because Microsoft brought me out to interview people who presented there. And I haven't been back since. I mean, like, I would never take that amount of money out of my own bank account and go, okay, time to go to GDC. Like, that's not realistic.
I have never been to the only convention I've ever been to was VidCon. That's actually how me and Sandy met. It was at VidCon. Mm-hmm. Only convention I've ever been to. I gone twice. Tickets were like $100 or something like that. That's a fun convention. Yeah. It's not really a game dev convention. It's more of like an online. That was more when I was into like YouTube and animation and stuff.
And you're lucky because you live like 2 blocks away from it. I had to go across the country.
Away. I live like 30 minutes away from the convention center. I did not live 2 blocks.
Same
away.
State. I had to fly across the country.
Okay. Yeah.
That's an arm and a leg.
It costed, I think, $3,000 in total.
Oh, yeah.
I think that would have been cheaper if you sold your arm and leg.
Yeah, I think it would have been, actually. But, like, I had to draw something. I had to draw if I wanted to be there, so.
Man. Well, I hate that this time flew by so fast, but I've got another call to get to. Tell listeners where they can follow your work and look for your stuff.
All right, Sandy, you want to go first, or you want me to go first, or?
Sure, I can go first. You can follow me on Twitter at Sandy Spoofs, with an underscore in the middle. You can subscribe to me on YouTube at Sandy Spoofs as well. There's a bunch of more social media platforms I have, I'm sure, but those are the only 2 main ones that you should focus on.
Chapter 1. I'm just kidding. Mega, do you want to go?
Yeah, I'll go. I have a game show where I post my stuff. It's robot_fuzz. Yes, it's an old username. I haven't changed it yet. I will eventually, but I'm probably not because I'm lazy. You can go check. I have other projects there too.
Nice.
Yeah. That's the platform that we met on. I'm Expo Dev on YouTube. I do YouTube there. Like, I actually make game dev videos, like kind of like Danny does, I guess you could say. I have a Game Jolt, which is just Expo Dev. I have a Twitch, which is Expo Dev, and then my Twitter is at ExpoGamerDev. So yeah, that's.
And we also have Twitter at Imperfect Studios.
Yep, we also have a Twitter for TeamJumpers. It's just at TeamJumpers. But yeah, all right. Well, thank you Todd for having me on the podcast. I really appreciate it. And thank you guys for liking TeamJumpers so much. I really genuinely appreciate it. We're working so hard, and we have a lot in store. So yeah, thank you guys.
Well, this was my pleasure, and I'm hoping that when things cool down some, maybe we can all get back together when things progress, and we can sort of check in and see how things are going.
Yeah,
absolutely.
I'm definitely excited for that GunDrill crossover episode. That's going to be a lot of fun. Just keep me posted on that. I'm definitely excited for that.
Thank you for having us.
Absolutely. And if I find out that I was wrong, I will move the episode so that you are together at this point.
Yay.
Oh, thank you.
Awesome.
Thank you so much to our guests. If you enjoy the Game Dev Breakdown podcast, I would love to have you subscribe on the platform of your choosing. Hit that follow button on Spotify, drop a rating and a review on the Apple side. We have show notes at CodeWritePlay.com. We are all over social media at GameDevPod on Twitter, at CodeWritePlay, and me, Todd Mitchell, at MechaTodzilla, 1D and 2 Ls. Love hearing your feedback. Reach out with topics, what's on your mind, what you're up to, and we love talking about that stuff too. So, more next time. Take care of yourselves out there. Keep working hard, keep making us proud, and I will catch you next time.
At that moment, nothing mattered in my life more than seeing my 3 initials at Lakeside with a high score. But now I'm older, there's no quarter to resurrect or hit reset. It's either game over or success. I'm walking towards a light bright, no regrets.
Somebody help me, won't express in the